Hello friends, in this video I will be talking about accounts receivables management. Now for this video and for the coming videos there will be one LOS which we will be studying, which says evaluate a company's management of accounts receivable, inventory and accounts payable over time and then compare it with other companies. So in this video we will be starting with the first part, which is accounts receivable management. Now, accounts receivable management includes the following. First point is making timely collection from debtors. So, if you want to manage your receivables, very important point is make timely collections. Ask your debtors to pay on time. Deciding the credit period to be given to the debtors. Credit period meaning how long are you expecting your debtors to pay it off. If I am giving a 30-day credit period, he should be able to pay the amount in 30 days. If he does not pay, then there will be consequences. Deciding the discount percentage for speedy collection. If I want my money today itself and I don't want to wait for 30 days, I can give him a percentage discount. Let's say if you want to pay in 30 days, it is fine. But if you pay on the 10th day, I will give you 2% discount, something like that. Coordination among the credit manager to manage credit sales, accounting manager to record the credit sales, and treasury manager to manage the cash flow from debtors to bank account. So basically you need some coordination between credit manager, accounting manager and the treasury manager. We can monitor the accounts receivable by using number of days of receivables. If you remember this formula, number of days of receivables is average receivables or accounts receivables divided by average days sales on credit. Now here this will be accounts receivables. Ab, what is the interpretation? Number of days of receivables means that my debtors take so much number of days to actually pay my amount or pay my dues. If number of days of receivables is 30 days, तो उसका interpretation ये है that if I sell my goods today, I get my money after 30 days. Now, what can we conclude out of number of days of receivables? If it is too high or if it is too low, what can we interpret? That we'll be covering in this topic. So first point, if the number of days of receivables is longer, and second point, if it is shorter. So if the number of days of receivables is very long, it means that the company is not collecting the amounts in time. It may hurt the working capital. If my number of days of receivables is, let's say, 180 days, अगर आज सेल्स हुआ तो 180 days के बाद I will receive my money. Now this is long enough. So quite possible your working capital is getting hurt. You may have to borrow funds from outside. If it is too short, let's say ये 2 days का है, it means that the company is collecting the amounts faster. It may be giving discounts for speedy collection. 2 days का अगर cycle है, so it means that it is trying to give more discounts so that the money is received in time or before time. Now, is it good to have a longer or a shorter number of days of receivables? Longer? No. Shorter? No. See, longer, of course, no, because your working capital is getting tied up. It is blocked. Why not shorter? Why this is also not good? 2 days का अगर collection cycle है, it is not good because number one, you are giving discount, which means it is an expense. Second, if the time period is very short, let's say 2 days का cycle है, don't you think there will be your competitors who will be giving a 10-day or a 15-day or a 30-day cycle for the same cost? So you may lose out on sales. So quite possible that having a shorter time frame is also not good. We can monitor the receivables in one more way. See, earlier we studied number of days of receivables. Now there's one more way which is known as aging schedule. An aging schedule is a bifurcation of amounts of accounts receivables into categories of days outstanding. It is a bifurcation of all your receivables into categories of days outstanding, meaning I will create categories like 1 to 30 days, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, 91 to 120 and so on. So these are my categories, meaning 1 to 30 days कितने accounts receivables outstanding थे, 31 to 60 days में कितना amount था pending and so on. So let's say receivables in Jan are 540, Feb are 920 and March are 950. Now receivables जो है जनवरी में $540, फेब में $920 और मार्च में $950 का है. So now I have the balance of receivables. Out of this 540 का balance, 300 has been received, let's say in 1 to 30 days का time frame. Then balance 200 has been received in 31 to 60 days का time frame. Next $30 have been received in 61 to 90 days का time frame. And balance जो $10 है, that is 91 to 120 days. So basically ये जो 540 का है, 540 में से 300 will be collected in first 30 days, then 200 in next 30, फिर $30 in next 30 and $10 in another 30 days. This is nothing but aging schedule. Similarly for February and for March. Now you cannot really interpret anything out of it, so we need to study further. To interpret the above, we shall convert the receivables into a percentage form. So basically now I'll be converting every amount into percentage. This is from your last slide, the first table which we just saw. Now we'll convert this into percentage. For example, ये जो receivables है start करेंगे 100% से, which is 540. 540 is 100%. If 540 is 100%, what is 300? So 300 divided by 540 will be 56%. I have rounded it off. Similarly, ये जो 200 है, that will be 37%. 200 upon 540. फिर ये जो 30 है, that will be just 6%, which is 30 by 540. And last ये जो 10 है, 10 divided by 540 will be 2%. So basically I have now converted it into a percentage form. Similarly for Feb, similarly for March. I have just showed one calculation here. ये 370 का 370 divided by 950 will give you 39%, which I have written here. So now we have converted this into a percentage form. Now can we interpret something out of it? Yes. How? Check. 1 to 30 days में 56% of my debtors have paid the amount. If 100% was outstanding on day 0, तो 1 to 30 days के बीच में 56% का कलेक्शन हो गया है. उसके बाद 37% का कलेक्शन कभी हुआ है 31 to 60 days के बीच में. Then 6% have paid between 61 to 90 days and 2% have paid between 91 to 120 days. So we can interpret that majority of my receivables have actually paid within 30 days, or I can say most part of my receivables have been received till this date. ये दोनों मिला के till 68th day I can say, because 56 plus 37 meaning approximately 93 odd percentage has been received by the end of 68th day itself. So we can make some interpretations out of this. Also if you check Feb and March का ये 45 है और ये 39 है, मीनिंग जनवरी के फर्स्ट 30 डेज में ज़्यादा कलेक्शन हुआ है 56% compared to Feb and then compared to March. Interpretation, we can conclude that highest proportion of receivables is collected within 30 days and the proportion falls as the collection period rises. ये भी हमने देखा था 56 से 37, फिर 6 and फिर 2%. So the proportion is falling as the collection period rises. from 30 to 60 to 90 to 120. We can also find weighted average collection period. See now, if I want number of days of receivables on an average एक single figure में, instead of doing this ये 1 to 30 फिर 31 to 60, 61 to 90 and 91 to 120, instead of doing that I just want one figure dash days. If I want that, I can use weighted average collection period. How is it being calculated? Just try and understand. You are not expected to actually fill this whole table, but understand the logic. So first column, days outstanding, this was given in the question. Second column है average collection period ranging from फर्स्ट कॉलम में जो 1 to 30, 31 to 60 एंड सो ऑन दिया है, उसमें से एवरेज कलेक्शन पीरियड क्या है? लेट्स अज्यूम इट इज गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन, मीनिंग अगर 1 to 30 डेज है तो ऑन एन एवरेज 20 डेज में पैसा आता है आउट ऑफ दैट 1 to 30 वाला कैटेगरी. वैसे ही 31 to 60 में 49 डेज ऑन एन एवरेज लगता है कलेक्शन का, फिर 70 आएगा एंड फिर 107 आएगा. सो basically we'll assume that this is given in the question. So 1 to 30 के range में on an average 20 days में collection हो जाता है and so on. Now that we have average collection period, we also have percentages. If you remember from the previous table, 56, 37, 6 and 2. Now weighted average के लिए I need to multiply weight with some number. So here what I'll do is 20 into 56% will give me 11. 49 into 37% will give me 18. 70 into 6% will give me 4. I have rounded it off, and 107 into 2% will give me 2. Total of these 35 days is my answer. What is 35 days? 35 days is the weighted average collection period. मतलब जनवरी के रिसीवेबल्स मुझे 35 डेज में मिल चुके हैं on an average. Now it is not actually 35 days because some receivables might be received in 2 or 3 days, but some might have taken 100 days. So on an average, weighted average के हिसाब से 35 days would be needed to collect January's receivables. Similarly for February, now February ये जो weight है, these are from previous tables. You have 45, then 32, then 13 and then 11. Again you multiply these by second column, ये जो है 20, 49, 70 or 107. So I have written the formula here. F column is equal to B into E. B is my second column and E ये वाला column है. तो 20 into 45% will give you 9. 49 into 32% will give you 15. And then we get 9 and then we get 12. So again adding these, I get my answer as 45 days. So February के रिसीवेबल्स को कलेक्ट करने के लिए आई नीड 45 डेज ऑन एन एवरेज. एंड सिमिलरली यू कैन कैलकुलेट फॉर मार्च. अगेन मार्च का कॉलम एच विल बी बी इंटू जी. तो बी जो है अगेन द सेकेंड कॉलम इंटू जी, ये मार्च के वेट्स है. तो यू विल गेट 8, 14, 15, 12 एंड टोटल ऑफ 49 days. So you can find weighted average collection period and then again you can interpret something. So receivables of January were collected in approx 35 days, which was faster than Feb and March. Jan का weighted average collection period is 35, February का 45, March का 49. So January में faster collection हो रहा है. Now there can be many reasons of that. It can be cyclical or year had just ended in December and now they have funds for Jan. Whatever the reason is, these are some interpretations. So now if you have two companies in hand and if you have to compare, you can use these tactics. Number one tactic क्या था? Find number of days of receivables and compare. और second tactic ये है, use aging schedule. You can find weighted average collection period. Anything suits you, you can interpret in any manner. These figures can be compared with peers or even with the company's historical numbers. So basically ये टाइम सीरीज और क्रॉस सेक्शनल डेटा बोलते हैं. व्हाट इज टाइम सीरीज डेटा? व्हेन यू कंपेयर योर कंपनीज हिस्टोरिकल नंबर्स. लेट्स अज्यूम आई एम येस बैंक. अब ये जो येस बैंक है उसका 2018, 2019 और 2020. ये तीनों ratios if I compare, this is known as time series data. But if I compare Yes Bank's numbers with let's say SBI, तो ये peer हो गया, which is known as cross sectional data. We'll be studying this in another subjects. So you can compare these figures with another company or with my company's past ratios. If the collection period is too long, then the company must try to shorten it by providing incentives or discounts. See, if the collection period is 35 days and if you want to bring it to 15 days, give them some discount so that they pay earlier. If the collection period is too short, then the company might even lose some buyers. The buyers may go to other sellers who give longer credit periods. We had discussed this earlier. Shorter time period jo hota hai, even that is not good. They might go to your competitors. So these are some ways to manage your accounts receivables. Thank you guys for watching this video.